Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Alright. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Big in Tokyo, I wanna be big in Tokyo. Drink all the sake I want, read all the manga I want.
I believe as a mangaka, you're gonna have things you specialize in: comedy, love, slice of life, action, characters, whatever it may be. You're gonna have a specialty. You're not gonna be good at everything. Some things will not work for you. But I do respect the mangaka who have like one highly praised work, and from that moment, they don't just try to make like this weird poor man's copy of it, or just kind of bring a continuation or sequel to it. But instead explore different avenues, different demographics, different genres, and see what does and doesn't work for them. I have again gone through the entire body of work of a mangaka. I do this all the time. When I read something I really like, I will go through all the work. I've done this with someone like Inyo Asano. After I read Oyasumi Punpun, I had read A Girl on the Shore, like Downfall, I read Solanin, etc., etc. Now, this manga right now I'm recommending is called Beageruta, and if not that, you could say Wergelder. Listen, I speak English, I speak French, I don't speak German. I'm pretty sure this is German. Leave me alone. But if you know how to pronounce it, feel free to actually please correct me. I want to know how to pronounce this. But that being said, Hiroaki Samura is someone you should recognize from the name Blade of the Immortal, right? Blade of the Immortal is very good. You should read it. If you have not read it, I highly recommend it. It's very good. I feel like Hiroaki Samura is one of those mangaka who has fully explored like every avenue he can as a mangaka, from comedy to slice of life, action, extreme violence and sexual violence. And I think he knows what works for him at this point in time. And I think this manga right here, Wergelder, is him taking the things that he is best at and focusing on those things, which are women, sex, violence, specifically violence dealt by women and dealt to women, which I'll touch upon momentarily. I think he also took all the things that I took issue with Blade of the Immortal, and made them work, made them better, improved upon them. I say that because in Blade of the Immortal, I think there's a lot of points where the manga is a little boring, but I would say the best two characters are Rin, who is the emotional crux of the story, and it revolves around her based on the way he set it up from the beginning. But the most compelling character is Maki, easily. I don't think anyone would disagree with me, because first of all, she's not only this weird enigma, this mysterious, beautiful woman, she is the most powerful combatant in Blade of the Immortal. The way she dismembers and takes apart her foes is like this beautiful dance. It's wonderful. But Rin and Maki are tied to their male counterparts, Onotsu and Manji, which is my issue there. Now, let's talk about the Wergelder. Sorry for that really long kind of intro, I guess. So the simple synopsis for this story is that it revolves around three women, right? You have one that's described as a passionate psychedelic revenger, right? Who is the most compelling character in this narrative, which I'll touch upon momentarily, because I think she's what drives the story a lot. Because she's the character we know the most about. She goes by the name of Nami, right? Then we have this really badass kung fu lady from China who she just has unbelievable hands, okay? Like, holy crap, she can fight. We know very little about her. She's like the enigma. She's very mysterious. Then we have Shinobu. Shinobu is, to me, the balance, because we have one with a very traumatic past, which is Nami, and we have one we don't know much about. Then we have the balance in the middle. She's gone through hardship, not to the degree of those two, and she's been explored a bit, but not to the same degree as Nami at this point in the story. So I think because of that, those three, being kind of different and differently leveled like that, it balances it out. Now we need to double back to the point where I said that sex, violence, and women are what Samura's best at. Nami's character is extremely intriguing to me. The poor woman has gone through a lot. She has been sexually assaulted. You know, she's had violence used against her, and it's just terrible what's happened to her. And the way she's kind of drawn strength from her traumatic past and used it as fuel and motivation to go forward, to me is kind of inspiring, where she's like the Rin of Blade of the Immortal, but with the capabilities of like a Manji or a Notsu, so she can take care of business herself. She doesn't need anyone to lean on. But because of the way she hides in plain sight is as a prostitute, right? So it's like that weird psychological cycle where like it kind of comes full circle, because this is what she knows in a sense, and that's how she gets the money she needs. And she's able to take large amounts of like sexual violence, because the one guy who comes in the first chapter is like into some weird stuff, but it's really easy for her to take because she's been through it, right? So if you've seen Love of the Brute or Brutal Love by Samura, it's this art book he made, which is like Eroguro. Look at it yourself. I'm not gonna jump into what it is because it's very graphic and violent, and I don't know if you guys are into that kind of thing. But expect a lesser version of some of that stuff in a very few, not a lot of scenes, but some scenes, because this is what he excels at doing. This is how he expresses himself when it comes to his women. But moreover, the artwork here is beautiful. It's great. He's always been a very competent artist, I believe. The action is godlike, dude. Watching these girls go at it and the fighting is crazy. The way they're just tearing through their enemies, to the point there's like one scene where these Yakuza members are sitting around just talking about how they got their ass whooped. It was really funny, and I think the story is going in a good direction. It's interesting. There's a little bit of weird stuff in there, but I think the writing is very good. I also just think the characters are good, like the three main characters, especially Nami, and that's why I think you should check it out. I mean, there's only 15 available chapters right now, so you really wouldn't take it that much time anyway. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I'm really interested in seeing where it's going to go. If you have read it already, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and I'll be out. A guy fucks a mermaid.